We're going to continue with Pirkei Avos. Today we're going to focus on the importance of silence. What's the explanation of a fence for wisdom is silence? Sayag l'chochma shtika. It's the 13th Mishnah in the third parak. The full Mishnah says, Rabbi Kiva Omer, schok v'kalar sarosh, margalin le'erva. Which means laughing too much, mockery, or levity. They could accustom a person to immorality. Mesoiros sayag l'toyer. The transmitted Torah Shabbat Peh, the oral Torah, is a fence around the Torah. You need a fence to protect your area. If you don't have a fence, it's not going to be good. That's what the Torah Shabbat Peh does, the oral Torah. Maisers Saig Loisher. Tithing, giving Meiser, that's a fence for wealth. Nedarim Saig Leprecious. Making vows, oaths, that is a fence for abstaining. Rabbi Yonah explains someone who can't control his evil inclination, he should make vows. Say, don't, I'm not going to eat and drink until this time. You could also prohibit something that's permissible. That will help you conquer your evil inclination. You're going to just get used to your new way. Only make a vow if your evil inclination is getting strong. Then lastly, the Mishnah says, Chayk l'chochma shtika. A fence for wisdom is silence. Rabbi Yonah explains that something that we never heard about, we should say we never heard about it. Also, don't speak in front of someone who has more wisdom than you. Rashi quotes the pasuk that says, "Silent fools considered wise." It's pasuk in Mishlei. Yud Zayin Kaf Ches. The Gemara relates in Psachim on Sadi Testament Aleph, right before Arvei Psachim, last parak over there. Silence is good for wise people, and it's certainly good for fools. Bartanura isn't sure what type of silence or lack of speech this mission is referring to. It can't be referring to silence from Torah, because the pasuk already teaches us that we should learn Torah day and night, as we discussed in the past at length. V'hagisa b'yom v'layla, and Sefer Yeshua Parak Aleph Pasuk Ches. See the 10-part series over there, 1,8 on Yeshua. Yeshua 1,8. Almost a 10-part series. This Mishnah can't be referring to, explains the Bartanura, not speaking Lashon Hara or Chilus, slandering people. We already know that from the Torah. If that form of speech is prohibited. It must be that this Mishnah is referring to being silent from optional matters. Remain as quiet as possible. Now the Medrash Shmuel explains, page 210, most people think that the main way to achieve wisdom is by talking, getting clarity. It's incorrect, though. The best way to get wise is by remaining silent. The Mikveh Yisrael says that since Torah is only given to those who humble themselves before its greatness, the way to protect one's wisdom and guarantee its endurance is not to talk about it. This is saying don't talk about how much you learned, the areas that you learn. For an idea. There's a story of someone who observed someone who was talking a tremendous amount and hogging all the conversation. The observer told him that Hashem created man with 2 ears and 1 mouth. So seemingly, you should listen twice as much as you speak. It's a good point. Like to cross-reference something that we learned already. The previous, on the first parak. The first parak, the 17th Mishnah of the first parak. We discussed over there about silence also. So I think it would be worthwhile to share some of that which we discussed over there. It says over there, Mishnah says, The rabbi said, all my days, this is Shimon, the son of Rabbi Gamliel, Kol yamai gedalti bein chachamim, all the days that I went among the wise people, lo matzasi leguf tov mishtika. I found nothing better than silence. Seems like he himself said this statement. It's just something that he realized. And it became Torah because it's true. So over there we discussed around 10 reasons why silence is very important. Rabbeinu Yonah over there says, don't even speak about something that doesn't cause damage. Don't even talk too much about your job. Don't speak about wasteful topics too much. We need to be careful, explains Rabbeinu Yonah. Even when we speak words of Torah, we have to think about what we say before we say it. Very important. Bartanura explains that Chava got into a lot of trouble. Why? Because she spoke a lot. She said that it was forbidden to eat from the tree and touch it. She added the prohibition of touching. That was not a problem, touching. Look in Bereshis Gimel Gimel. She pushed the Nachash, the snake, into the tree. So just like nothing happened after you touched it, so too nothing's going to happen after you eat from it. That's how the sin from the eating of the tree happened. Lack of silence. Gemara Megillah Yirches relates that if talking is worth $100, remaining silent would be worth 200. That's basically what the Gemara says. The Rambam talks about how being silent is so important in the Mishnah Torah and Hilchos Deos Perek Beis Halacha Daled. Only speak about wisdom or something that pertains to the body. Even so, minimize the discussion. Even when speaking about Torah. The Gemara in Pesachim, in the beginning of the Masechta, first half says, L'olam Shana Adam Talmid Derek Ksara, always teach in a concise manner, as short as possible. The shorter the better. The story that's related about someone who was at a conference with someone who dominated the conversation. And one of the clever people said, that's not true, that's a lie. The speaker was shocked. He demanded an explanation. He said, it's impossible that you ever heard anything in your life. You never let anyone else talk. There are times to be silent. There are times to listen. As it says in Koheles, beginning of the third paragraph. Time for everything, and sometimes it's time to be silent. Other times, time to talk. Could just remain silent and receive reward. Okay, we'll stop video. Continue next time.